So I spent over 10 years in the Army working with and training militaries all over the world. And when it comes to effective training, we have one simple phrase: train how you fight. Since leaving the Army several years ago, I've been working with organizations to help them apply that principle to cybersecurity training. So most organizations think that training their cybersecurity personnel is something that has to take place on a cyber range or in a sandbox environment. But new technologies have emerged that enable organizations to actually train their cybersecurity personnel in the same places that they do their job, on production. So most cybersecurity leaders think it's not possible to actually train their personnel on production. But this is actually an outdated view based on an old technology paradigm. As I've already described, in the last few years, technologies have emerged that enable organizations to actually test their security tools, test the configurations of their firewall or their SIEM or their EDR tools in the production environment to make sure that they've got all the right configurations for those tools to stop the attacks that they need to stop. Now, technology has emerged that enables you to build on top of that to enable your personnel to train with those same tools against real-world threats in the production environment. Technologies developed over the last several years enable organizations to actually test their cybersecurity tools in their environment where they're actually meant to work, which is on production. There's now technology that actually builds on top of that same technology that allows you to run tests of malicious actions in your production environment to actually test your personnel who are using the security tools in that environment as well. I want to share how new technologies can help organizations save time and effort on one of the most difficult parts of their cybersecurity program: training. So here are 3 advantages to training on production instead of training on a cybersecurity range or in a sandbox environment. Advantage number 1, when you train on production, you can actually validate the configurations of your cybersecurity tools. When you go to a sandbox environment, you try to match that environment exactly to your production environment, but it's difficult and expensive and time-consuming to get it exactly right. When you train on production, you can actually validate the tools and the configurations that they're actually in that analysts have to use on an everyday basis to do their job. So advantage number 2, training on production saves you time. By training on production, you eliminate the need to stand up and maintain a separate cybersecurity range, which will take away valuable time that you could be using to actually do your job. So your people who are probably already overworked and have very limited time, when you train on production, they no longer have to actually pick up and go to a separate location. They can actually do the work right there on production without even leaving their desk. So number 3, training on production improves performance. So based on what I've described so far, it's probably not surprising to learn that organizations that train on production actually stop 56% more attacks than organizations that train on a cyber range or in a sandbox environment. If you want to stay up to date on everything that we're doing over at SightGain, including developing tools that enable you to train your personnel on production, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out our website at sightgain.com.